Do you care about talking of the legacy question with these two guys, even though they're going head to head? Does that interest you at all? If Steph wins and he's
no, I mean
it's super sports talky.
Yeah, I know, and it's been all all day and all morning and yesterday. I think on a lot of different shows. Like I think you got two all-time greats. They're two very different players. Yeah. In terms of legacy, does one more title change LeBron's legacy? I don't think so. Does one more title change Steph's legacy? In my opinion, probably more than it does for LeBron, simply because he's winning another one without KD.
Yeah.
So LeBron's done this before, and to me, both of their legacies are almost as impactful off the basketball court as they are on the basketball court.
Sure.
In terms of LeBron, like what he's done with, Clutch Sports and outside businesses, and he's a billionaire.
The school that he's built.
The school back in Ohio. I mean, it's amazing what he's done as a business person. And then with Steph, obviously, the Under Armour stuff, and he's done a lot of similar things, but he's changed the game in a way that we've never seen before, just because he's, I don't want to say a regular dude, but he's just built more like the rest of us than LeBron is. LeBron's a super freak.
You can't.
Right?
Yeah, LeBron's 6'9", 260. Like the normal person can't relate to that.
Right.
But these kids, they see Steph, and especially on the basketball court,
he looks
small even though he's 6'4", right? So he looks like us. And I've said this before. I think Steph kind of ruined basketball because now then you've got these kids. Kirk Morrison, for example, came in the other day hosting, and he said, he's coaching his daughter's team and his son's team. I'm like, what's easier? He goes, oh, the girls by far. He goes, the girls listen. He goes, the boys think that they can come in and shoot half-court shots because Steph Curry does it. And I think that the game is changing that. The people step in the gym and they think, oh, I can launch 25, 30-footers. And you can't, because there ain't that many Steph Currys. God didn't bless that many people with that type of skill, but yet everyone thinks that they can do that. And it definitely changed. He changed basketball more than LeBron changed basketball, and I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
The thing too about LeBron is if he wins another one with the Lakers, he gets a statue. So it's kind of he'll have a statue in 3 spots. Cleveland for sure has to build him one.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure Miami, and then he gets a Lakers statue, I think, if he wins the second one.
Well, I would think he would have to, right? Shaq has his Lakers statue.
And he ties Kobe with 5 rings. So
it's certainly impactful. I guess for me, there hasn't really been a question of where they stand in the history of basketball. They're 2 all-time greats. Now, is their legacy greater? Sure. Does LeBron catch Jordan? I don't think he ever will. I don't think there are certain people that are always going to look at Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time.
I think our generation always feels that way. I think people, 10, 15 years younger than us would put LeBron first.
Yeah. And I've always said this, especially when, in the last 5 years when this argument really took off. My point is, if you're under the feeling that Michael Jeffrey Jordan's the greatest player ever, there is nothing that's going to change your mind, right? But if you felt like LeBron's the greatest, then the further he goes on, the more argument that you're going to be able to make. And, the two sides will never meet. You know what I mean? No one will ever come to an absolute conclusion who was the greatest. I'm just happy that I was alive to get to watch this because I love basketball and I love watching basketball at its highest level. So I got to see Jordan. I got to see Shaq and Kobe and LeBron and Steph. And it's just amazing.
Well, we've been blessed, right? We've been blessed to grow up in this era of all-time greats. I mean, you could throw Tiger Woods in there too, right? Like
I'm just speaking basketball.
No, I know, but I mean, we may never see
that.
And obviously Tom Brady. But you remember, years ago, you had the Joe Montana Tom Brady debate, and then Brady just won so much. Yeah, I mean, there was no more debate. It was.
Well, Dan, I was talking to Rich about that. And, he says that 7 is now the benchmark. And I really don't believe that because 7 is such an anomaly. Like, no one's going to win 7 Super Bowls again. It's not going to happen. Just like no one ever counts Bill Russell's 11 rings as the benchmark. It's usually like 6,
right?
5 or 6.
Right.
To say 7, that's I can't see that ever happening. So I kind of look at the 4. You get into the 4 Super Bowl range where Mahomes is kind of staring at now. I kind of feel that puts you in kind of like that goated category.
In that conversation.
7, man, Chris, insane. 7 Super Bowls.
Well, you go 3, you go 4, right? It used to be Terry Bradshaw forever.
Yeah.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.